Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so today I have a financial advice for you. I'm not a financial advisor, but it's just a tip. Perhaps it's helpful to anybody. But before I tell you about that, I'm going to first tell you about my own transition when I started the boat thing, in terms of finances and then my work hours. Now, when I started, I was working almost every day of the week, right? Of course, I broke down. I'd already spoken about this before. I broke down at some point because there is only so much you could do. I still remember it was one particular Saturday I went out. I mean, the business was there, but then I just couldn't bring myself to drive. I was out there, I just parked under a tree, and Jesus Christ, I was beat, you know. And worst part of it was I kept feeling bad or blaming myself or thinking of myself as being lazy, right? Not being able to push myself and all that. But later on, I came to realize no, your body has fatigue and it needs rest. Okay? You don't have that rest, your proficiency level is going to be horrible. Anyway, so from having to work every day in the week to then deciding to work 4 times in a week. Okay. So I scheduled some days and I said, okay, on this particular day and this particular day, I'm going to rest. I'm not going to work. So it came, my schedule brought me to 4 times of work days in a week. Now, I couldn't keep up with that either. I couldn't keep up with that then. I had to break it down again to 3 times a week. Now, 3 times I was able to keep up with. And this was the resolution that went with working 3 times a week. I said to myself, okay, you know what I want to do? I want to earn 60,000 in a week. I don't know. I'd like to call this a miracle because the moment I started putting like a number or a target on how much I wanted to make or what I wanted to earn for the week, I was able to, in the best possible way, organize myself. Okay. And then I realized the reason why I was just working randomly, especially when I started, was I just wanted to make all the money in the world. And obviously, it wasn't possible because I had the flesh is weak. That's just what it is. So when I decided to do 3 times in a week, I said, okay, in a week I just wanted 60,000, just 60,000. So all I had to do was any day I went out for work, I just need to make 20,000 in profit, net profit, by the way. So that means after I deduct the fuel money I'm going to be needing for the next day of work, after I deduct the money I need maybe to buy data, maybe to feed if I bought something on the roadside, any other expenses, right? Anything I have left or everything I have left after deducting expenses, I want it to be 20,000. Okay? Now, I went on with that for a couple of weeks and it was good. Now, this is the best part about it. There was never a week where I actually did make 60,000. Ever since I made that resolution, there was never a week where I actually did make 60,000. Every time I ended up with 70 to 75,000 by the end of the week. Why? Perhaps in the weekdays, let's say I decide to work, say Tuesday and maybe Thursday or Friday, I'm able to make at least 20,000 on these weekdays. But on a Sunday, I always make at least 30,000, 35, 36, 37, almost 40, sometimes 40. But most of the time, I'm always around the early 30s. Okay? Now, this is exactly why the whole thing just, it never stays at 60. I don't remember any week where I finished off with 60. Now, this whole analysis I just gave you was the reality before subsidy removal, because I have to now give you a whole new analysis after the subsidy removal. In one of my not very long ago video, I told you something. The earning capacity, your earning capacity is definitely reduced because of the subsidy removal. Like, no matter, even if you want to work past 12 hours, if you could go 24 hours, I don't know. Even if you want to work 20 hours, okay, there is only so much that you can make, and it will never be as it used to be. The reason is simple. The fuel subsidy removal made the price of fuel go up by, I think, 200 and something percent. However, the price or the fares in both did not go up as much as the increase in the fuel price. This is why it'll never be the same. It'll never be the same doesn't mean like the difference is so drastic. No, it's not. Okay? How do I put this? If formerly I was making, let's say, 25 on a weekday, now I'll probably make 22. I'll probably make 20. Do you understand? That's the difference. That's the difference. And I don't know if you've noticed, Bolt has almost gotten rid of their search maps. There's no heat map anymore. It's there, but there has to be an extreme demand before it comes up. Otherwise, you hardly ever see any search pricing. In fact, I believe what they've added is something like a far pickup bonus or something like that, where they give you an extra 200, 300 for picking up a person from a farther distance. That's the only thing they've added. Okay? The reality right now, with subsidy being removed, is that personally, I have a resolution wherein I want to make at least 60,000 in a week. Okay? Now, permit me to draw you back a little bit. Back before the subsidy removal, there were weeks wherein instead of 20,000 on a weekday, I actually made up to 25. I actually went up as high as 28 sometimes on weekdays. And so by the end of the week, instead of calculating 75,000 in profit, I'm actually calculating something around 85. Okay? This is not a very consistent thing, but then it's always around an average of 75 to 80,000 every week. This was before the subsidy removal. Remember, I told you my resolution was 60. But, well, however the work goes, it goes. And then at the end of the day, I'm not counting 20. I'm actually counting 20 something. All right? End of business or end of the week, I'm calculating, and then it's like, oh, I actually did make up to 80 before the subsidy removal. Right now, I think, I don't know if a lot of weeks have gone by yet, but based on my calculation, on average, I think I'm resting around an area of, let's see, 20, 25. So around an area of 65 to 75 in the week. Yeah. And sometimes you just get lucky. This is the reality. Let me give you an instance. Like yesterday, I had gone out for work. My very first customer, I dropped her off in Maitama. The trip was around 3,000 something. Now, as soon as she alighted from the vehicle, she was like, oh boy, she forgot her bag at the place where I picked her up from. She would like me to go back and get it. And then I did. I went back and I got it, and then she added an extra 6,000 to the 3,000 she already gave me. Okay. And then as soon as I came back with the bag, she gave me an item that she wanted me to deliver to Kwarimpa somewhere. And by the time I delivered that, I got like an extra 2,000 something something. So ultimately, just from that one customer, all right, I was able to pull in something around 11, maybe 12,000. Do you understand? This took around the space of almost 3 hours. It wasn't even up to 3 hours. If my calculation for fuel for that day was 10,000, I'd already completed it. So that means from that moment onwards, everything I got for the whole of yesterday was profit. And just yesterday, I think I was able to account for something around 27 or 28. Or was it 25? Something around that area, because I did make some expenses. I did spend some money anyway before I go home. So there was some calculation mishaps anyway. So, but I think let's just call it 25 for the purpose of easy understanding. I made around 25 yesterday. Okay. But then at another weekday, sometime around last week or so, I don't think it was up to 25. It was hanging around 23, 24, struggling too. Do you understand? So it's not as easy as it used to be before, but that doesn't mean it's bad at all. No, 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 no. Like the difference is not that prominent. It's not too drastic. Okay? So let me get to the financial advice aspect. Okay. So this was what actually prompted my resolution, wherein I said I wanted to make just 60 at the end of the week. I was doing something. I said, every day I come back from work, if I make 20,000, as I plan to, I'm going to bring out 10,000 and keep it as savings. And then the other 10,000 would be for my expenses, food, whatever it is I need until the next time I go to work again. So I have to limit my expenditures to that remaining amount I have with me. Let's say, for instance, if I made 25,000 and I remove 10,000 as a savings, that means I'm left with 15,000, right? For my expenditures. So I could decide to buy whatever I need to buy or just play around with 15,000 until the next time I have to go to work. And remember, I say I work 3 times in a week. Okay? So the days apart are not really that far, such that I have to finish the 15,000 every time. But very importantly, the idea here is saving at least 10,000 each day after work. Even on a Sunday, the days I make 30,000 or something, I still bring out just 10,000 and I keep it. Now, this is what it could help you to do, right? Let me do the maths for you. If you work 3 times a week like I do, hopefully you even work much more than I do, like 4 times a week, 5 times a week, man. That means, you would really be benefiting a lot from this whole plan. Let's for the purpose of this video anyway, you work 3 times a week and you're able to save 30,000 by the end of the week, right? In a month, you would have saved 120,000. In 10 months, you would have saved 1.2 million. And in 12 months, I believe that would be 1.440. Yeah. Let's just call it 1.4 million. Now, from the 1 point whatever, if you wanted to pay your rent, I believe, let's assume your rent is 400. You just take out the 400 and then you pay. You still have 1 million in savings. Okay? With this 1 million, well, I'll leave the ideas to you. There are so many things that you could do with 1 million. I believe you know, and I know that 1 million is not just a little amount of money. Even if it's to make a down payment for a car, you could do that. 1 million is very good. Very, very good. So that's just one tip anyway. I said I should drop in that if you are having troubles, trying to organize yourself financially, so you don't be one of those people that there is money in the business, but then you're not seeing the money. Try and save a little bit, you will actually see the money. Okay? That's just the advice anyway. So do with it what you must. Okay? But granted, there is definitely some kind of profit doing this business. And personally, Bolt is not my side hustle. I don't know why people always insist that bolting is a side hustle. Uh, can you or can anybody here tell me? Sorry for asking directly. I know nobody will tell me, but can anybody please tell me what bloody entry level government job gives you as much as you're earning on Bolt right now? Aside for things like an NPC and well, you understand. They're like very select few organization or enterprises where you can work and actually earn as high as 500 on entry level. Very rare. But then otherwise, I don't understand why you think of boat as a side hustle. Are you alright? Anyway, think of it however you want to think about it. But for me, it's not a side hustle. It's a main hustle. In fact, things like other things I do are the side hustles. Like this YouTube, for instance. I don't really take it that seriously, but it's a side hustle. It's one of those things I do on the side. I do other things too on the side, but I'm just trying to say that it's a major side hustle for me. That's why I take it seriously, and that's why I make all of these calculations and deductions and savings and things like that, because it actually allows me to plan and organize myself better. Okay, so thank you for watching. Let's not keep talking. Till next time. Okay, we'll bye bye. Happy bye bye.